Good morning. Happy June 24th, Tuesday. So what does that mean? 6 days left until half of the year is over. So what do we evaluate at the half year point? Your progress, right? I can't wait. It takes us, we get 2 business days after the end of the month to close out our records. So once Joy gets us in, then I go to Dash and I pull reports and I can see. And this is later on my agenda, but I'll talk about it now. Jody Myers called me last week. He says, Craig, what are you guys doing? Every other broker is bitching and moaning. There's no sales, there's no listings, nothing selling. They're behind, the market's down. But you guys are over the market by at least 5%. What are you doing? Working. I said, no, it's about mindset, right? Have we been talking to you guys about mindset? Who controls your economy? You do, right? Do you have the skills, right? Do we have the tools as a company? Yes. Now it's your job to learn how to use them, right? Take action, right? And you're seeing, because we're calling out the people that are taking action. So you're saying, holy shit, people that take action. I got corrected yesterday. I called my daughter Jessica out. I said she did 17 deals last year. She has 19 deals so far this year. She texted me back, says, Dad, I have 22. I'm about to get 23. So the first half of the year, she more than doubled what she did in the entire year prior to. In a bad market? Is she having a bad market? No, she can't exhale, right? She's super busy, but what else are you going to do? I mean, it's all there for the taking, right? Mindset, skills, motivation. That's the key. And, we keep talking about that, don't we, Chris? The biggest thing is, why are you doing what you're doing? Some of us are comfortable. We don't really need much more. And when you get in that position, you got to surround yourself with people that have more and say, oh, I could do that. Interesting. Right. And that's external motivation. Then there's internal motivation. You guys have all that. So I thought it's a pretty big compliment from Jody, who's now covering the entire state of Florida, saying you guys are doing something right. So I thought it was a good compliment for us. So anyway, very good. Let's start with Miss Megan. I know you don't have a whole lot to do because you're in pre-closing now for the rest of the month, the rest of the week.
Yes, good morning. Wanted to come in and tell everybody about our class that we have coming in July. We are going to do a social media class with Veronica again. For those who got on the last class with Veronica, she's very engaging. She was a really great underwriter for us to have on the call. So she's going to do social media insights. It's going to go over how to access and read platform analysts. And then the key metrics for growth and engagement. So I'm really excited for this class. And I'll send out the invite either today or tomorrow as soon as I have the flyer complete for you guys to accept it and join us in July.
I have no idea what you just said. I don't understand social media. That was count to you at all.
And then I'm also going to, you'll see tons of calendar invites coming out from me. I've got the rest of the year planned. For those who know, I am getting ready to pop and have a baby. So I have all of our classes lined up for the rest of the year. Lisa will be our host to come on with you guys and guide you through with our underwriters and our vendors. So you will see the rest of them come through for the year. So register if you can be there. And then I will hopefully see you guys in July, I'm hoping. If not, I will see all of you guys back in probably September, October.
Wow.
Hopefully I see you Tuesday. I mean, I just want to make it to Tuesday right
now. That's baby number 3, right?
Yes. Yeah. Baby number 3.
You know if it's boy or girl?
We do, but we are keeping it a secret. So we will announce it once we have the baby.
There you go.
Yeah. Very exciting. Thank you. Well, you guys have a wonderful week and I will hopefully see you on Tuesday.
How busy?
You broke up.
How busy is this week for you?
I still can't hear you.
How busy is this week for you? So in comparison,
the last week of the month.
Previous months, how busy is this week for you?
It's actually not too bad. Our end of the month's really in the middle. So me and India feel like most of our closings take place like the 15th, 17th. Because you guys don't schedule at the end of the month, which is great. The only time we really get crazy is if we have to extend the closings. So it's not horrible, which is great. It keeps us busy enough, but it's not overwhelming at the end of the month, which is nice. You guys are doing a great job not scheduling at that time.
That's why it's important we all work together, right? We got to partner with our title agent, we got to partner with our mortgage agent, loan officer, to make sure that when something happens, we all communicate together to keep everybody on the same page. So that's a good job. All right. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Have a great week.
Stay as comfortable as you can.
Thank you.
Is Jeffrey Beckons up?
Just need Jeff for you to raise your hand so I can add you to give you speaking permissions. I've got your name in here twice, so I think you're logged into one of the training rooms, so I can grab the right one.
I
There you
texted
are.
him.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Promote you.
So we did Beckons University 2 weeks ago. And one of our new agents took Jeff's advice on Beachmaker, sent some notes out to her friends. And guess what she did? Two.
Got two.
Not bad. When do you get paid your commission on Beachmaker?
Half in the fall and half when it's done. So it forced restraint. It's a forced savings account for you there. So good morning, everybody. I'm going to share my screen for a moment. Can I share? Yeah, I'm going to do that. Boom, boom. All right. I got to take that for the moment. All right. So here's what's going on. That just as a short reminder, because this project is awesome. And my computer is locking up all kinds of stuff. All right. So here we go. So what we're doing is, a lot of you know this, right? We're partners in Marriott Hotel coming on Madeira Beach, and we're launched pre-sales. There's 161 rooms. It's absolutely phenomenally gorgeous. It's going to blow everybody's mind at how nice it's going to be. Total luxury level on par with Don Cesar, the Vinoy, Sand Pearl, Opal Sands. It's at that level of the Marriott Autograph Collection high end. And we made the decision we're selling rooms. So we're selling 161 hotel rooms. It's not a huge project. It's only 161. It's boutique. And so we're selling pre-construction sales. We're only selling about 8 more. And let me say that again. 8 more at the Founders Club level, which is the early adopters, the people that get in early pre-construction. And what do you get when it's early? You get a low price. You get 60% higher revenue. You don't have to remember all this stuff. I just want you guys to get the highlights, is that we have a really cool project, and you can buy a unit and you can use it for 90 days. It's a Marriott. It's right out the beach. Madeira Beach is brand new, and it's a great opportunity. Here's my link to my Moxie, your Moxie, because if you guys don't know this, you have a Moxie site with this already on there. I hope you have it on your Moxie with our projects. You just do a drop down and Beachmaker will pop up. You'll see exactly what I have, except your information is on the bottom to do that. So the point is, and Chris and I was talking yesterday in the managers meeting, it doesn't matter if people buy one of these or not from you. It just matters that you talk about it, because I don't care if you're in Pensacola, Panama City, Miami, Orlando, Tampa, Madeira Beach, doesn't matter. You now are a resource of real estate for your client base. And some of them are interested in investing, some have money, some don't. But now you are just kind of up in your game and talking about them about a new project with them. So for example, Mel in the South Tampa office, she sent out a text message, which we're going to show you in just a second. And she sent this text message out to her client base, and we've got 3 of them under contract right now. And that's probably $4 million worth of sales. And all she did was get them interested and turn them over to me so I can sell them. Right? That's the point here. I'm here every day. The sales center is right here in the office in Madeira Beach, and I'm involved in pretty much every sale. So you just need to get the people to me or get them into the sales center here every day, and we'll close them. So that's what that's a short version of what we need to talk about.
Yeah, and the point is that the Beachmaker has been a project that we've been talking about, sending out marketing for months. I mean, it's been almost a full year, basically, that we've been shooting this out. So this has consistently been available to all of the people who just reached out to all of their clients in the last 2 weeks. Yet, for some reason, they didn't do it before, but we gave them an opportunity and gave them information. You made a new decision with new information to reach out to people, and she generated 3 sales with that. And we had another agent in here that generated 3 opportunities that would have been at bats, but they just decided after reviewing the website that that wasn't for them, but they're looking at other investments. So it's really about the at-bats that you have, and it's about taking advantage of every opportunity that you have in front of you. This is an opportunity. It has nothing to do with the Beachmaker. Would we love for it to have everything to do with the Beachmaker? Absolutely. That would be an awesome opportunity for the company, for you, for your clients, for everybody. But if they don't want that one, and they're interested in an investment, what else are they going to do? They're going to look at other investments, and there's a lot of great opportunities around. And that's really the point.
Because you're going to put them on a buyer broker agreement, and then they have to work with you for a period of time. And anything you show them, you're protected on with a protection period. Beautiful situation.
And if you want one of the best sales pitches for why you should buy an investment, probably this investment, but if not this one, definitely an investment in an area, I think that this is the guy that you want him talking to, right? And so, I mean, he's literally going to do the job for you. You have to create the at bat. You got to get the guy, get a bat in their hands and send him up to the plate, and Jeff's going to knock him down.
That's all you have to do, guys. And here's the short version of it, right? So we're doing, they all cost about $775,000, right? But they really don't, because they cost 20% of that, which is $155,000. So the sales pitch and the reality of it is, if you have $155,000, we have a beach house for you, right? And brand new Marriott, hands off, fully furnished, ready to go. You can come use it 3 months a year, and you're going to have income coming to you every month as a result of it. It's brand new. It's gorgeous. 200-person wedding venue. It's got all the stuff. I mean, I'll sell it. And when you go to the website, I have a 20-minute video of me actually selling the entire project. And all the stuff is there for you to sell it yourself too. But just make it simple on yourself. Text me, call me, I'll Zoom, I'll call, I'll meet them. I'm in here all the time doing that. So Chris just pulled up a script that we used at Beggins University. And this is what got Mel $4 million worth of sales within a week, by the way, just by copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. So Chris, you want to read that to them?
Yeah. So you got two options. You could take this script, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, or you can take this script and shoot a nice little video and shoot it out to everybody. Either one is going to work, but it's basically, hey, I was just thinking about you. I have a brand new fully furnished income producing beach house and you only need $155,000 and only half of that now. We have only 15 more units left at the brand new Marriott Autograph Collection Resort on Madeira Beach with crazy pre-launch incentives and prices. It's a great chance to own a beach house for just $155,000 down and possibly no more than that. I know you've imagined owning a beach place. Here's your chance. Here's the link to the project. Put your Moxie link in there and let me know when we can chat about this. You're going to love this. Shoot it out to anybody and everybody. If they've ever thought about investing in real estate, thought about investing in a beach house, thought about investing in Florida, thought about investing in their backyard, whatever that is, this is an opportunity to reach out and talk to them. Shoot the text, shoot a video, put a link in the first comment, hit that link down below to get some more information about it. You all have this on your site. It's right here. This is the C21 Beggins site under our projects, the Beachmaker. It's right there. What we'll do is we'll send this out to the team, this little script here out to the team after the meeting, and y'all get to work and start shooting some messages. You don't know who to contact. You've got 1,000, 2,000, 4,000 people in your phone. Just go down to the bottom, look at contacts. That's how many people you should contact with something like this.
And scarcity and urgency is the thing here, guys, because right now you're getting a really good price. We're putting $40,000 worth of furniture we're including. You're getting like the 20% down we're allowing right now. And it's just, all these incentives are not going to be there 2.5 years from now until it's finished. So I can guarantee you the final pricing on these units will be definitely way north of 775, and you're not going to be getting all these other incentives on the way. So the scarcity is now to be part of the Founders Club. We're going to be a nice plaque in the lobby with all the Founders Club's owners' names, and they're going to be able to come use it as a beach house. 6 restaurants, 2 pools, sky bridge, beaches, all kinds of stuff. It's an amazing, easy sale for somebody who has $155,000, or we've got some that are joining together with 3 or 4 friends, right? And they're splitting it. And they're all putting together their little piece of the down payment. They own it as an LLC, and now they're friends. They want to come over with their kids and have a good time and all come together and play. So I'll help sell it. You just get the word out, guys. That's what I wanted to bring out today.
But in a market where you create your own market, that's really what this is. You create your market. These are all opportunities for you to create a market. It doesn't matter what's happening in your neighborhood, in your community, in your city, in your zip code. You create your market. And we have tons of opportunities to create your own market, create new conversations, generate more income, and just create opportunities.
And also for our Panama City, Pensacola, Destin people, you can't touch anything like this price-wise over there on the beach. And certainly South Florida, you can't even come close to it. So the point is, this is not geographic specific. This is investor specific. So people who want to buy an investment property on the beach, good luck finding something else that's 155 grand. So set them up. You set them up. I'll knock them down, guys.
Yeah, and this will be sent out to the team after the meeting, so you'll have this in there. And if you want help shooting a video, if you want help doing that, post it on social, send the text, shoot a video, let us know. We'll sit down with you. We'll give you a hand.
Also, Beggins University and Project, there's a whole library of information and in posts that Puma's created for this one too, in the projects.
Yep.
So, all right,
Lots of
thanks,
info.
guys.
Thanks, Jeff.
Cool. Good job.
We got Paramount.
Okay, today's enlightened perspective. Recontextualization is a skill of describing the conditions and circumstances in a way that creates an empowering reality for you. So let's talk about that for a second. What are some of the conditions and circumstances that the marketplace is talking about? Sales are down, listings are up. Market is bad, interest rates are creating stalled sales, right?
Political unrest.
Political unrest, potential war, right? The 12-day war cracks me up, right? So those are conditions and circumstances, but how can you recreate that, restructure, recontextualize that to make it empowering for you? Your competition is scared, right? If you take action and they're not taking action, that gives you a leg up. So is that a better way to recontextualize a slow market? Right.
We've had agents go on listing presentations where they were competing against somebody and the other agent told the seller they should not list their home right now because it's not a good market to list their home in.
I had a commercial listing appointment yesterday and they have an appraisal backing their price. They believe in their appraiser. I said, okay, we'll list it at your appraised value, but let me tell you how the real world works.
Yeah.
Right. Because here's how it's going to go. Right. So we need to get to it. I'll get with Mike Wiles and I'll get a DSCR loan coverage. I'll find out how much income that building needs to bring in to qualify for a DSCR loan. Then it becomes empowering. Right.
Well, and also, have you ever had a seller get an appraisal and the appraisal is from 6 months, a year and a half ago? And they still believe in that value because an appraiser gave it to them a year ago, a year and a half ago? Well, I had it appraised. That was a different market, different circumstances, different sales, different information was put into that. Right now, it's been a year since then and things have changed too.
I had a call with an agent on Saturday, I think it was, and she's having a tough time. The buyer is willing to pay X, the seller wants Y, which is X plus more. And then the buyer says, well, we'll do the appraisal, but the seller has to agree to come to the appraised price. And she's like, no way, because I have no idea the mood of the appraiser that day. So we negotiated back and forth and came up with, look, you do the appraisal. If we don't come down to match a successful price, then we'll reimburse you for the cost of the appraisal. Because appraisers have what?
Opinions.
That's it. You can one appraiser says it's worth this, another appraiser says it's worth that. What if we get a bad one? Then we force the seller to accept that. We're not going to let that happen. But if I was a buyer, bullshit, I'm not paying for an appraisal if I don't know you're going to accept it. So we solve that problem. Now that's going to bring them closer together in a negotiation. We talk about negotiations all the time.
What does that do for us on the listing side? We now have proof that the property may not be worth what the seller wanted. So it works out for everybody. Works out for the buyer, potentially get the property at the appraised value. Works out for the seller because they get some knowledge and information. Works out for us because now we have proof that may back what we were trying to tell them all along. So it's beneficial for all parties.
Yep. So 9 o'clock on Friday. It's not normal contract Friday. We're going to do what, Chris?
We're doing a Contracts 202 class. Joe Nader will be here in Apollo Beach live and also on the daily training link. So it's going to be broadcast and live in the room. Joe is doing Contracts 202. It's comparing the as-is contract and the residential contract with repair limits, when you would use one versus the other, why you would use one versus the other. And then depending on the timeline of that, we'll also be talking about negotiations, navigating through those contracts and trying to use them in your best ability and just negotiating on behalf of your buyer and or seller.
Perfect. That'll be fun. Now, are there times where we should use the as-is versus the regular?
Yes.
Yes. Who typically do you want to represent on an as-is contract? Buyer. Gives them power to walk away if they want to. As a seller, what contract would you rather have? Regular, because you can't let the buyer squirm out. You can choose to make the difference and keep them in contract. So you're going to learn those differences on Friday. Okay. Keeping current matters. All right. Slide 5 is the first one. You got it?
Yep.
Inventory topped 1 million for the first time since winter of 2019. Look at the white line. We have a lot more inventory. So when I first read this, I said, shit. Except for, so next slide. Housing inventory is growing the fastest in the West, second fastest in the South. Why? Because we had more growth, right? Okay.
Also, at the same time, what's been going on over the last 6 months in the Northeast and Midwest?
Winter.
Winter. Do most people list their homes during winter?
No.
No, I've got
Can't even drive.
I have a friend who's a broker in my hometown in Pennsylvania, and it was just chatting with him online, and the amount of listings he's been putting on the market in the last 2 months far supersedes. He said it's nearly double, if not more than that, what they put on in the last 2 months compared to before. So the inventory grows here, number one, because we've had a lot more growth. We have a lot more growth of land and building with new construction as well, but also time of year. The Northeast and Midwest will grow in inventory from the last 2 months and into the next 2 months as well. So it's not that there's an issue here. It's just it's more acceptable and more easy for us to get properties on the market because we've got that time of year all around and we have more land for builders to build on and put more properties up.
Next one, it says, this is what shocked me. The increase in inventory is also promising and supports long-term stability in the housing market. Long-term stability, is that a good thing? Okay. As wages rise and households are formed, such as through marriage and bringing in dual income, this influx of inventory returning to normal levels provides an optimistic outlook. So my first glance says, oh shit, we got way too much inventory. But no, we're coming to a balanced market, which means more people can come in and buy. So the more inventory, if a dealership has 6 cars on their lot and the dealership across the street has 400 cars on the lot, where are you going to shop? The 400 because you have better options. So we have more options now than we ever had before. And that's the way to look at this, not the way I first glanced at it. Oh shit, we have too much inventory.
There's also another perspective that we're still behind in inventory by 1.2 million units. So if we still are behind by that number of units, 1.2 million units, right now, we're just experiencing this really just unique market where it's not a buyer's market. It's not a seller's market. It's leaning a little more in favor of buyers, but it's still a great opportunity for a savvy seller who has the right marketing partner to get their property out there and sell it for the most amount of money. It's a really unique opportunity, and we need to take advantage of these opportunities on both sides of the buyer and the seller, because you're never going to have a market like this where you have the opportunity to really maximize either side if you play your cards the right way.
Now remember, this is national data, right? So a pocket in Riverview might totally be different than this. So this is just national stuff for you to consider. This is at 7.5 years. America's housing deficit, cumulative housing deficit or surplus since 2012. Surplus 2013, 15, and 16. Everything else has been a deficit. Look at 2023, the worst year in real estate since 2008.
This is 2.6 million units that were down. This is the shortage, the deficit in housing. And in 2024 is 2.2 million. And now 2025, they say we're still in around that 1.5 million mark where we have a deficit of inventory for the market and the amount of buyers and the amount of homes that we typically will carry on any market. At a 2024 rate of construction relative to household formations and pent-up demand, it would take 7.5 years to close the housing gap. That's how short we still are in inventory. If we continue at this rate, putting homes on the market with the amount of people that are coming into house buying age and things like that, you're looking at a 7.5 year gap with the amount of inventory of people selling, the amount of homes that are being put on the market for construction, just to keep up and get back to where we've been, which has been a pretty typical balanced market.
There's nothing bad. See, we're recontextualizing, right? Because like my enlightened quote said, we're taking what everybody else is saying is a bad market. We're recontextualizing. This is good. This is good news. We're getting to a more balanced market. It's sustainable. That's important. I think 17 is the next one. This is the key. And you guys have to start really, really embracing this concept. Sellers want more than buyers are willing to pay. We have a record number of price reductions right now. There's more price reductions we've ever seen in past years. There's just, they're coming up. And it's because sellers want more than buyers are willing to pay. Look at the gap, the little golden arrow right there. Green is what buyers are willing to pay. Blue is what sellers are wanting to receive. It's the biggest gap we've seen in a long, long, long time. Right? So slides like this would be information for you to print out and put on a listing board and say, do you want to be in front of the game or behind the game in a price reduction war? In front, right? You got to take charge. You be the one to beat the price down. Because what happens when their neighbor comes on the market down the street and they are 15% lower than you? They sell like this. Now what do you have? A comp.
Mhm.
And that comp is going to trail your listing. So it's not going to appraise anyway.
And what do we typically do? We chase that listed price that it's went under contract at. And then what happens when we don't get a buyer and then that property sells? Sometimes that price is a little lower or has a concession attached. And this is what I call chasing the buyer. You just end up, you're chasing it to whatever that next price was. And it doesn't mean prices are falling. It just means that we were unrealistic about our price whenever we came on the market.
We were used to 15% a year appreciation. Now we're at 3 to 5. So we're pricing at 15. It's not going to happen that way. Okay. When buyers and sellers are on different planets, one side eventually has to give in. And it's looking like it's going to be sellers this time. Rising inventory, price drops, and seller concessions indicate that this is already starting to happen. Rising inventory, check. Price drops, check. Seller concessions, check. Indicate this is already starting to happen. And sales price growth is likely to continue to slow as a result. Now, watch those words carefully. Sales price growth will likely continue to slow. So growth is going to slow, not go away, not decline. It's just not going to grow as fast. And that's another recontextualization, which you got to read the words because the media will take that and just rip it apart. Right? I think that's the last slide.
Yep.
I got more for next week, but is this good stuff? I love this stuff. I'll send you guys the whole kit because Jody gets it. She sends it to all the brokers and then we have fun with this. Remember, BBAs, we have a contest going on. Jimmy's going to talk about that in a minute, but please submit them. These are valuable tools. When you get a BBA, create a loop for it, put it in there. We'll see it. We can track it for the contest. That's number one. But more importantly, you've got a database of buyers that are under contract committed to work with you. And if they're going to commit to you, then you should, well, commit to them. Stay in touch, put them on newsletters, put them on the neighborhood news, put them on listing updates, put them on, treat them like a consumer, right? Because they're committed to you, so you should be committed to them. Next one. Okay, Jimmy, you sent out a Moxie tip of the week. What was it about?
Moxie tip of the week was the June newsletter. So it's readily available to send out, to print, to go knock on doors with it, to download as a picture and post it on social media with some great kind of tips and things like that and what's kind of happening in the market. So it is ready to rock and look at the email from this past Friday for the tip of the week and see video on how to send out the e-blast, all that good stuff, and some specific actionable things if you want to. The rest of it.
You guys recognize how much time Jimmy spends creating this stuff for you so you don't have to? Please take advantage of it. I mean,
Shout out to Sam on this one. I had a writer's block with this one. I had all the information. I just couldn't figure out how to put it.
Well, Sammy too.
together,
So
so
Sammy and
kinda
Jimmy
helped
work
me
very,
out.
very closely together. So very good. Talk about your contest while you got the mic.
And then also, obviously, we have Elevate 21 coming up.
We have a very,
20th.
very small attendance for that right now. I'd really like to see it at least double or triple. I think we have 25 people going.
Yep.
Guys, this is an opportunity to get in front of and network with your fellow peers. And you will come back feeling like you're part of something bigger and really proud of being part of Vegas Enterprises.
They have some really good classes and everything.
Yeah, Jimmy's doing 4 of them.
I'm doing 4. But they actually the Century 21 team will be there. I mean, there's going to be things around video. There's going to be things around AI. Obviously, we're going to get a lot of corporate. Like I know Greg Sexton's going to be there. Should be a really, really good time. For those who went last year, they didn't provide lunch or breakfast. They are doing that this year, so you're good to go with that. It's just for a few days, and it should be a blast. And I think the last night is a party. It's like something about gold. I think it's just tying into Century 21 and kind of glitter and gold or something like that. And Chris and I are not allowed to actually compete in the dancing competitions. Don't worry, I'll still get up. We'll still bust a move. But yes, the contest is still running for a few more weeks. So get your BBAs in, get your contracts, get your listings, get your closings. We're tracking all that for you. Get your presentations out there, including the new open house attendee one if you want to use something like that.
Okay, and I'll remind you to showcase. Our sales are down this month, just so you know, which is weird because our listings are up, but our token sales are down. This is Jennifer Bell's listing, 15 days on the market. 4 bedroom, 2 bath, 2,000 square feet, built in 2022. That's a tough house to list, right? Because why?
It's right in line with the average size home.
It's right in line with perfect, everything. But look at, you can't really screen to blow it on the graph. She did it all right. She's got 5 profile pictures. Look at the views, the dark blue line versus the light blue line. Right? But more importantly, buyer's engagement. Zillow knows who's shopping in that zip code for 4 bedroom houses in that price range. They are sending single focused emails to that group. They identified 784 people looking. They sent emails to the 784 and 582 open. What's the typical email open rate for email marketing? 2%. 2%. How many of you open all the junk email you get? For you?
Nope.
Before I even look at it, I go select all, uncheck the ones I want to read, mark on red, or mark red and delete. That's just my pet peeve, mark red, right? That's what I do. I don't know if you guys do the same thing. I don't open shit. They're opening Zillow emails to the rate of 582 out of 784. What is that?
It's like 75%.
Yeah, it's huge. Nobody does that, but you don't get that. They don't target people when you just get a regular listing. They just put it on the market. And buyers engaging.
Yeah. So
Dusty from FBI Inspectors, she works our entire market. She's doing something which is near and dear to my heart. And actually, she learned that from us because we were talking about certified pre-loved homes a couple of years ago. We haven't talked about that in a lot. We just call it getting your home inspected before you put it on the market. So the most important inspection that you need is a 4-point, right? Plumbing, electrical, roofing, and HVAC, right? If any of those 4 have a problem, what kind of problem do you have? And
insurance,
you got an insurance problem,
which creates a lending problem.
which creates a lending problem. So, and it's a shame because now when we get a listing, we're spending close to $1,000 up front. And a listing is a interest-free loan that's only repaid if you're successful selling the house, right? So it makes a bad business decision to take an overpriced listing with an unmotivated seller and spend $1,000 on it just to capture buyers. You know, because your buyers are going to Zillow, they're getting spread to a Zillow agent or a Realtor.com agent somewhere.
To potentially lose the buyers you attract because of the condition of the property when they find out. They lose all confidence in this property when they start seeing reports that look like this. And some buyers get very emotional and will be completely skewed from this property just because of what shows up on some of these reports. So do this before you put the property on the market. Do a pre-listing inspection. FBI is doing it for $275 for a pre-listing 4-point inspection. And it's not just that one visit out. They'll come out, they'll do the pre-listing inspection for a 4-point, give you all of the data you need to make sure your insurance can be satisfactory and everything can move forward. But if there are issues, they will come back out once a contractor fixes them. And part of that $275 is a re-inspection. And then part of that $275 is also reissuing that 4-point to the new buyer whenever you get a buyer under contract so they don't have to buy it.
Man, that's beautiful.
Now, the buyer's probably going to want to do their own regular home inspection to cover the entire property, but we've already got a 4-point done for the buyer. And when we get the 4-point done for them, fix all those issues, get it re-inspected. Now we have a satisfactory 4-point, satisfactory insurance. We mark it to a buyer and say, we'll be able to reissue this 4-point in your name so we know that this insurance quote is pretty much as good as bound. You can do whatever inspections you want. You can save money on the 4-point. Just do your regular inspection. We've already got these.
I think it's a beautiful plan. So really, if you guys are taking listings, because I see your listings and some of them are, you know, at a glance, very simply overpriced, right? So I hate to see you spend the money and waste the money and then have it expired and another agent come in behind you and sell it. Because what's the stat? 80% of the listings are sold by the second agent.
Yeah, you have a 40% higher likelihood of selling your property as a homeowner if you list with a new agent after it expires. And then once they go on the market, I think the number is closer to 70%. It's between 60 and 80% of the properties relisted do sell within, it was like 6 months to 12 months.
We did not have a big attendance for real life real estate yesterday, but I came through what Kathleen found 10 hypothetical scenarios that were kind of interesting. So if you missed the class yesterday, go back and watch. Jody's comments I talked about already, real satisfied, and we'll be done. A little bit late. I'll read one, you read one, then we'll do it.
Sure.
Gustavo Perez said, this is Kristen Miller in Sun City. I trust Kristen's recommendations on staging, marketing, pricing, etc. She worked very hard in helping me make the house attractive and welcoming. She also hosted frequent open houses and made sure the property looked good and was welcoming. Besides being a trusted resource, she became a friend, and it made me comfortable to know that Kristen's expertise was exactly what I needed. I will be happy to recommend Kristen anytime and will vouch for her professionalism and warm personality. What do you learn from that? Trust, right? Put your arm around them. You're taking them down a road. They don't go down very often. We talk about this shit every day. They don't. And they trust, they want. That's why real estate agents still have value. Look at all the AI stuff. I'm getting AI emails like crazy. We can solve all these problems with AI. Yeah, no, there's a personal influence that happens. That's what it is. You put our arm around their shoulder and say, don't worry, I've got your back. I'll take care of you.
We knew Jesse as a good neighbor down our street. We were very happy with the results of our sale and our purchase of our house. Jesse would give a great presentation at each property. He would go through the pros and cons. His opinion was valuable to us in making a decision on our purchase. Jesse was great in organizing all the surveys, getting some repairs expedited, and following up on the same. In conclusion, we strongly recommend Jesse for the purchase sale for your real estate needs.
Jesse is well, he's been with us for 12 years and he was that company before we bought them. Jesse's a consummate professional. The thing I like about this one, Jesse would give a great presentation about each property. Right? Where does he work? You guys know? Longboat Key. Where does he not work? Anyplace else.
Any place he has to drive over a bridge.
Yeah. So he just knows all the inventory. And the buyers valued that he presented the features and benefits of the property because he knew them ahead of time. So I wouldn't be surprised if he actually went and previewed that house before we showed it. That's how dedicated, but his average house is $1 million too, right? So you can afford to do that. Kristen Samuelson said about, that's Jesse. Jasmine Nguyen, talk about Min Tran in Pensacola. This was my second time having Min ask as my realtor, and he will be the only person I will work with in the future. He is kind, patient, knowledgeable, communicative, everything you would need in a realtor. The customers are telling you right now, this is what we want in a realtor. We want kindness, patience, knowledge, communication. That's what I want. Deliver that and you're gold, right? And I think that's what we got.
Yep. Just a quick reminder about the contracts class on Friday. It's going to be from 9 till about 11:30, comparing the two contracts. Elevate 21, you all have emails from Susie or from us about Elevate 21 registering for that. We can send another one out for you. That's going to be July 20th to the 23rd. You'll need a hotel room, or you can drive back and forth and carpool, buy your pass for that. We'll be talking about our winners the week before. And I think that's it. Elevate 21. And then that's it. Just a Zillow showcase, stand out. Use the tools that you have. You're competing against a lot of other listings. Make sure that you have truthful and honest discussions with the seller about where the price and everything should be. Make sure you show them the value that we present about pre-listing inspections, about showcase, about photography, about floor plans. Get those properties exposed to the most amount of buyers that are out there by using all the tools that we have accessible to us. And also remember, Zillow Showcase takes a regular Zillow listing and removes a lot of the things that could be to a detriment to the seller, like your Zestimate. If you have a gap in your Zestimate will not be on your showcase. It takes away the buyer's suggested offer strategy, which tells them to offer 5 to 7% below the list price as a strong offer and lower for a average offer or a weak offer. It removes those things. Lots of tools available for you to use.
Yep. Let's break off to individual office meetings. Happy Tuesday.